Hi, this is my quick tutorial for how to make an animated gun in Roblox. This does not deal with functionality, this just deals with animation. So, first things first, you need a gun. This is my gun, I made it in 5 seconds. We're calling it gun. Put it in a model. So, here's the key features of this gun. As you can see, there's 3 parts. There's the like build of the gun itself. This right here, that's like the magazine. I know it looks like a pistol, but that's the magazine. And this third part, you might be wondering what it is. This is my body attach. This is how the game, it does not matter where you put it on the gun. You just need a third part that you call body attach. It is body attach. It is written right here. Uppercase B, uppercase A. So now that you have this, I suggest rig edit. This is what you do. You click on it, and your centralized part is this body attach. So the first thing you do is you click this, and then you click Shift. Shift will click the union, which is my one part, and then you click Create Weld. You only weld parts that are going to not move on your model, which is why I have the magazine not welded. What I do for moving parts on this is I click, once again, the body attach, and then I shift click this red part, create joint. Now it's jointed. You're going to want your joint to be moved up to a point that is in line with the gun because that's where it'll move from. Perfect. Sweet. So now that you have this gun, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to import and rig. Just to show you how to do it real quick, you go to Avatar, you go to Rig Builder. I'm going to use a block rig for now. You can use any of these options, but block rig for me. And then you're going to want to, whoa, I don't know what I just did. Then you're going to want to move your rig. Oh, and you don't even need to move your rig. You're just going to have a rig. And you're going to want to just figure out a good way to, you want to figure out where you're going to want to put this gun. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to be like, oh, if you want to use Blender, I recommend head stack tutorial. That is exactly what I'm using for this. If you're going to use Blender to animate, attach it to the chest. That's what head stack says. I do not know how to animate in Blender, so if you want to do that, look at his tutorial. I'll link it in the description. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to choose a part. For right now, I'm going to do, for my gun, I want the right hand. So you're going to go here and you're going to click plus, and you're going to look up motor 6D. Now, I recognize the want to do this with rig edit is to just joint it. It's not a joint. You're not jointing it. You need the motor 6D part. Does not matter what you call it, but part 0 is the part that is the hand, and part 1, and this is very important, is going to be your body attach. And you can see how it attaches. So now your next step is you're going to want to move the gun into this rig. Because this is when you're animating it has to all be modeled into one thing for you to be able to move it as like an individual piece. So what I'm going to show you next is one of the most important parts. You need to know this. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click it. I call it whatever you want, whatever animation you're going for. I'm just going to call it test because I'll use something else. As you can see, you can now click the important parts, which is your mag. If you want to move your mag, there you go. If you want to move your gun, bam, right? So this is why I say it doesn't matter when you move it up and you rotate this. You can move it kind of however you want. In an animation, it does not check and it does not matter. So bam, you got your gun. It's huge, whatever. The next thing you are going to want to do is you're going to want to, you're going to want to think about what type of animation you're making. If you're making an idle animation, it's very, very important that you toggle the looping, which is this button right here. Idle animation will sit and just be present. You're going to want to toggle it. And so for a reload animation, you're not going to want it to be toggled. You do not want it to loop because then it'll just do this forever, and you don't want it to do that. Same thing goes with your ADSing. You're going to want to think about, well, if you're ADSing, do you want it to be looped? With my specific script, you loop it. But if you wanted to do it on your own where you ADS and then you constantly replay the script until you un-ADS, which I do not recommend, you can do that. But I would loop your ADS. For your running, I'd loop your running and then stop it when you stop running. So for your loop, your ADS, and your running, all of them looped. For your reload, not looped. Second important part, your character has a priority, like a priority ladder. what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to change your priority of your animation. Idle is the priority that you're trying to beat at the moment. So you've got idle and movement. Those are your two natural core, like that's your Roblox character when you jump. That's a movement animation. If you want to stand above those animations, you're going to want to knock it up a step. So action is the animation that you'd use for idle. But what you'd want to use for reloading, running, and for ADSing, you would want to use action 2. You'd want to bump up its priority inside of the thing to be above idles. So any action that is outside of just normal movement, you're going to want to bump up higher than your idle movement, which will be action 1. So action 1 is idle, action 2 is for any other type of movement that is different from your normal animation. So for this, you'd click action 1 because this is my idle. And then you sit there and it is good. Then you'd want to publish to Roblox. If you're doing it in a group, publish in a group. All that stuff. I'm going to assume for now that you know how to do that. So here's where I'm going to get into stuff that is going to be attached to your repository. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to copy this. You're going to want to go down to, let's say, starter pack. You're going to want to click tool, change the name to whatever you want, and then when you click your tool, I changed the wrong name, I changed the starter pack name. Let me starter pack. What you're going to want to click is tool. You're going to change this to gun, whatever you call it, and then you're going to right click, paste into. And now you have your gun, and then you're going to want to do this and move it out of the model. You don't need it in the model. So Headstack has a nice script that I just copied and pasted verbatim that you put in the server script storage. I will also put it in my GitHub repository. I will not claim it as my own though. So it's this script. This basically says when the character joins the game, attach that extra motor part that we created, that motor 6D part, to your tool, and this will put it in the hand. The second thing you need to know is your gun cannot be a handle. So you're going to want to turn off that click. If it is a handle, your gun will not be held the same way. Your animations will not work the way you want them to work. So now moving on, this is where I'm going to have a model that you can just copy and paste in case you need to look at it. But what you're going to do is in my repository, you're going to want to copy this script. It's a long script. You're going to copy this script and you're going to want to paste it into your gun, and you want to be pasting into a local script. So for this, I'll just do this for now, paste into, and this is my gun animation. So this deals with the animations, which will be in this separate folder, which I will explain in a sec. And basically how the gun works, it's the same way most guns work in most shooters. If you're sprinting, which your default Roblox speed is 16, like your walking speed is 16, if you go above that, it goes into sprinting hold. If you click R, it goes into reload. And if you hold the right click, it holds ADS. This script deals with that. It should deal with it by itself. You shouldn't have to change anything. What you're going to want to do, though, is you might want to copy the model. You can, if you'd like, you can remove these and put your own animation ID which is, if you go to here, if you go to your animation asset, animation ID is right here. But what I did is I made a folder that you put in your tool that holds all of your animation IDs and it refers to them individually. This makes it easy to copy and paste this entire model and just bang, 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 put them out there. And that would be your last step. You don't need to touch anything else. If you want other parts, cool, but everything works fine. And I want to show you the final result. I didn't since this is one go, your pistol should just be held, but you can see it's held with my other animation. My other animation has the running, ADS, reloading. It's funny that it went on this one. Kind of looks jank, but this is like what the gun looks like. So this is my gun. I made it where you're running, now you're out of running, you ADS, cool, you reload, bang. And this is my simple, super quick script and this is I'll again find all of these scripts in the GitHub repository. I will also link to this model so you're able to just snag it and use it the way you need to use it. But I would refer to this step by step if you want to make your own guns, if you want to add your own animations. And if you want to change anything, up to your discretion. But that's it. Peace.